All right, right back at it on the Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Cuzzin Dre. Please help welcome to the show, man. Grammy-nominated platinum recording artist, the lipstick lover, Janelle Monae in the building. Welcome to the show.
What's up? What's up, y'all?
How you doing, man? The
Incredible.
Age of Pleasure out now, man. Just dropped about a week ago. Fans loving it. The hell with the fans. I'm loving it. I ain't gonna lie. I was telling my wife this morning that album sounded like something I'm supposed to be on the island smoking a good one too. You understand me? Popping my champagne shit.
That's right. That's absolutely correct.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy you feel that because when I was writing it, that's kind of exactly what I was
seriously,
doing.
like those vibes.
Yeah.
I was like, we're supposed to be on vacation somewhere, rolling up, enjoying a good vibes.
Right. And if you can't get on vacation, sonically, I wanted you to at least transport there in your mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where I was in my mind. I was like in Hawaii, somewhere in Maui, just big chilling, enjoying my day. Tell me about the meaning of the Age of Pleasure. How'd you get the title name, the vibes behind it? Talk about it.
Yeah. So it came to me at probably like 4:30 in the morning one night or in the morning. And I just was like, man, you know, as I was I had already done the music. I hadn't picked a title to sort of capture everything that the music captures. And I was like, you know, I've been in my age of depression. I've been in my age of confusion. I've been in my age of searching. And this is my age of pleasure. I'm happy. And I'm with the people, you know, that I want to be spending time with. Being in the pandemic, I think put a lot into perspective for not just myself, but my community. And once we got to sort of hang back out again, I was having, you know, a couple safe parties. We were COVID testing everybody. And it was at those parties that all my friends from Ghana to South Africa to Nigeria to, you know, Jamaica to Caribbeans, New York, like beautiful Black, just like free people all in a safe space. When I saw us, I said, I want to make a soundtrack to our lifestyle. And so I want to capture all of this beauty that I'm seeing and, you know, write about it. And this was my attempt at capturing that beauty on the Age of Pleasure.
Absolutely. You talk about literally what you were just saying, going through your age of anxiety, depression and stuff. Can you talk about like to somebody that might be going through that now? How did Miss Janelle Monae get from that age of depression, anxiety to now the age of pleasure? When you say we carefree as a motherfucker. What is it? Yeah, free as a motherfucker. How do we get to that part of Janelle Monae's life?
Fam. Ooh, I mean, everybody has their journey, right? You know, everybody is I'm always on a journey, you know. And I think I did have a unique opportunity to heal. You know, a lot of things got canceled for me during the pandemic, like, you know, a lot of folks. And I know that there are many people probably listening right now who couldn't provide for their families during that time and are probably still trying to figure it out. And what I ended up doing when I had to sit down, because my job required me to be all around the world and to be of service, but I couldn't go anywhere. And so I just sort of healed a little better. I got more in tune with the things that I didn't have time for when the world was moving so fast. Like I didn't have time to deal with anxiety. I didn't have time for that. And I feel kind of bad saying this because I feel like, or I want healthcare to be like mental health care to be free for everybody. I don't want it to be just free for me. I don't want to be able to have a therapist that I can go talk to this about. And like every person listening right now doesn't have that. So I'm always like, we need to do something to pay therapists more, teachers. We can go down the list of people who really need that money. But I started going to therapy more and getting to the root of the problem. And I think if you have an opportunity to invest in your mental health, I think it's the best thing you could ever do. I mean, I think if we can listen to each other more, it's one of the best things that we can do. If we can give each other the space to feel safe enough to open up, it's one of the best things we can do. And I think once you start to rearrange your mind and you start to heal, then that freedom comes. You know, you stop looking for outside happiness. You find it within. You stop looking for praise from elsewhere. You find it within. You stop looking for certain, you know, you learn to train your mind and your heart and that muscle that you do have to start looking at the world a little differently and start being more grateful and seeing things with new eyes.
Absolutely, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was one of them people, you know, years ago. I matured now, right? I was one of the people like, I couldn't go see a therapist because I don't need the people all in my business, and you know what I mean? I just keep it in to myself. But
Yeah.
I see a lot more people speaking out about, you know, opening up and letting their inside feelings that they haven't shared with even best friends or moms, you know, and going to see that therapist and just releasing it. And is that kind of where you found your, I guess, voice on this Age of Pleasure album? With like, is this your therapy session?
Yeah.
Like, man, let me go
for sure
release my feelings on this track, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think I sort of like released them privately, and I made it. I was very specific about this album. I was like, I want this album to be free from, you know, heaviness, free from oppression. Like, I can deal with that in you know, on my own time, but I want this to be music that my friends and we listen to, you know, when we're together. We want to play it. And what I would do is when we would have our parties and I would have all my friends who were from around the world at these parties, I would make like 2 to 3 songs on a Monday or Tuesday, parties on Friday, Saturday, and I would just have my DJ play them. I wouldn't say it was me. And I was like, if they not Shazamming, it's not going on the album. If anybody goes and sits down at the party, it's not going on the album. And that's how specific I wanted it. I wanted us. I wanted the diaspora to love it, for it to be a love letter, you know, to me and my friends. Yeah.
It's definitely that, for sure, man. So are there any tracks that you play that didn't make the album? Like, okay, take that one off. Dwight, take that one off. We're taking that one off, bro.
Well, you know, actually, no. I mean, mostly we played everything. And then if we needed to do some tweaks in terms of tempo, because I was like, oh, maybe it's a little too slow. Like, it needs to hit at a better BPM. Then we would just make those adjustments. But for the most part, I wrote about all the like all the experiences that you hear on the album happen, you know, over like a weekend. And so if the party started at 4, would end to 6 in the morning, some of the songs were written with the daytime in mind. Okay. Some of the songs you can play in the day, you can play at night. Some of the songs are just for when you in that 2 a.m. to the sun comes up moment. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Now, the fans waited 5 years for this album, man. Now, is this the one we're going to bring home that Grammy for, and why?
Listen, I write things not to receive accolades or Grammys. I'm not that type of artist. You know, I think my intention, again, was to capture the beauty around me. In the words of Maurice White from Earth, Wind & Fire, he said, if there ain't no beauty, make some beauty. Absolutely. You know, there's never a time where we're not going to be dealing with something heavy or having a problem we have to solve. And even in those times, find your joy, find your pleasure, make your beauty. And that was the intention. I hope, you know, that if you are a Grammy voter, it reaches your spirit, it reaches your heart, but I'm owed nothing.
I ain't gonna lie, you deserve a Grammy for sure. I was online, I seen one of the fans say, you got great artists, and then you got Janelle Monae. And I was like, man. Damn right. Like, for sure. That album
means a lot to me.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't get paid to lie. I'm not that good at it. I enjoyed it for myself, straight up.
Listen, that's enough for me.
Thank you. Let's talk about, you say you used to walk in a room with your head down, now you float. How do you get to that space? How do you get to, you know, just a quiet girl in a room to, you know what, y'all gonna see me, y'all gonna get this Janelle Monae today, y'all gonna get that work today. Talk about it, you glow up.
Yeah, you know, I think we evolve, and I have a thirst for evolution. I have a thirst for learning more about myself, and as a non-binary person, you know, somebody that doesn't sort of live in like a two-gender world, as I started to get more into my identity of being queer, being non-binary, being pansexual, all of that, when I got more locked in with me, it gave me a different level of confidence, because I knew who I was today, not, you know, past versions of myself. I brought all of that into a more evolved person and wanting to own all of me and not just parts of me, showing up as all of me. And I think sometimes, depending on what kind of families we grow up in or communities we grow up in, we sort of shut off different parts of who we are. But once you start to learn the world, once you start to learn, you know, that some of these systems were never designed with us in mind, you say, I am going to be as authentic as I can as possible, because there's no way that you can people please a system that was never built for you.
Facts.
You have to just get 100 with who you're going to be. During those times of insecurity that would probably pop up a long time ago, but you choose something different this time around.
I see throughout this interview, you talk a lot about almost like honing in on self, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you pour out, as people, we pour out to others to make sure they okay and they good or what.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the importance of make sure self is all right before you can make sure the next is good and everybody else? Well, how important was that for you making this the Age of Pleasure album?
Yeah. The Age of Pleasure, as I think about it, it's rooted in affirmations, like when you think about float, I'm feeling much lighter now. I float. I used to let niggas get to me. I used to be my own enemy. Or I had to forgive all my frenemies. They are not who they pretend to be. Affirmations like phenomenal. How you feeling? Phenomenal. During those, like it was also important for me to be able to hear these songs during my times of lows. And again, I'm not saying everything's gonna be pleasurable. Like this is my season of nothing bothers me, but you have to train that muscle. You have to talk to yourself. Like I don't wake up a free ass motherfucker. I have to talk to myself when I get up and say, hey, here's how here's how I'm gonna stay in gratitude, and here's how I'm gonna deal with things that I need to solve. If I'm feeling overwhelmed, let me get a system in place with my team that allows me to express, I need to change my schedule a little bit. Like I'm not able to be my best self. And I think when we are our best selves, that's when we can show up for others and give them that version of us. That's when we can have the best experiences with each other. I can't go to the party not being my best self.
Facts.
I can't go into the Age of Pleasure being you know what I'm saying? So it's only right that first I deal with myself, and then I can go hang out with y'all.
Straight up.
Yeah.
That's one of them snappers right there. Let's talk about the structure of this album, man. You got 14 songs on there, I believe, and it's about 30 minutes long. How in the hell you get a good album like that in 30 minutes? I swear I was listening. I'm like, what song we on 7? I'm like, wait a second. Go back. Tell me about it.
I love that. It's 32 minutes.
Okay, 32
right?
Yep.
I felt like, when you get intentional, you in and out. In and out. I feel like I feel like we had said what we needed to say. I needed to say on this project. And I had other songs, and I think I might do a deluxe album. I might put
we got
more.
A date dropping with me.
I might. I mean, we're talking about that because I know that's like the only thing, like, man, it's too short. But that means a lot. Like the fact that people want to hear more. That's what you want. Yeah. I'd rather somebody want to hear more of something than feel like, you overstayed your welcome. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So I got something for you. I got something for you coming.
Do you have any of the songs on the album that was just like, I enjoyed making this record? Like, which one was your it record to make?
I'm gonna tell you, I have to give a shout out to my producers. I wrote this album with friends, so I honestly did more laughing than I did like work. We had so much fun. Like sometimes we were in Jamaica writing songs, and then we would run back. And I actually went to go shoot the Glass Onion, and then I came back and wrote this album in the same year. So it was like it was flowing like water. I knew I had my producer send me music while I was in Greece filming, and I was like, sonically, I know what I wanted to feel. I wanted it to feel horny. Yeah. I wanted horns on it. I wanted it to feel celebratory. I wanted it to feel Pan-African. I wanted the diaspora, from the Caribbeans to America, to the continent, all of us to feel each other's cultures talking to each other. So I think for the most part, the entire experience, like when my friends from Everyday People were having the parties with us, and I was just telling you how we would play the songs and nobody knew it was me, I got so much joy from that. I had less pressure. Like it wasn't like, new Janelle Monae, listen. Because I can be really, really, really shy when it comes to like playing.
I don't see that.
I am. No, when a song is not tested and then you play it for the first time.
Oh yeah,
that's stressful.
Real, yeah, okay.
Like even when you're putting together your own, I'm sure like mix. There's levels of it. It's like, oh, okay, is this gonna work? Right. And so once, there is not. We had so much fun. We laughed a lot. The collaborations were incredible. Can I talk about that?
That was
like. Yeah, the fact that I got an opportunity to work with somebody as talented as Doechii, we had so much fun. we had a ball. It was such a free space. Nothing felt forced. I didn't even let her know what song I wanted her to get on. I just played her like 3 songs. And Phenomenal was a song she heard, and she hopped up. She was like, whoa, shit, like this is what I want to hear. This is what I want to do. And I was so happy about that, to have Sister Nancy. Everybody plays Bomb Bomb. You can't go to a party without hearing, her voice, her sample, and for her to do some original stuff. She never collaborates, to have somebody like CK, whose music I love, to have somebody like Fela Kuti's son, Sheun Kuti, in Egypt 80, for them to be a part of it. I had Outkast horn players, Horns Unlimited, playing on it. And to have like Grace Jones, like that's her in my studio and me producing her speaking French. Nia Long, somebody that like I have just looked up
crush.
to.
Hey, girl.
Yes, everybody's right. Like Amore, I can go on and on. Like the types of people that came through the studio, and we had a good time. It felt like water, and it's an experience that I always hold near and dear to my heart.
What separates this album from the other past 3? I believe you dropped. This is number 4, right?
4th. Yeah. I mean, I was an independent artist
for sure.
with EPs out.
Yeah. Put some respect on it. Put some respect on it. No,
but in
for
terms
sure.
of like full length, like global release, this is the 4th one, and I just feel like I'm on my new life. Like I'm taking all the versions of Janelle Monae with me. Like I said on Phenomenal, I'm looking at 1,000 versions of myself, and we're all fine as fuck. Like we all made it. We're all here. We're standing taller. I think one of the things about this project is it's rooted in Black joy. I think that when we're dealing with the world that we live in, sometimes my music had tended to have, and this is no, like, every step of the way I needed to go to get here, to get to this level, right? But I think I had to do a lot of fighting. Well, thinking about white supremacy, thinking about protecting our rights and things like that. And some of my songs were a direct response to how we've been treated as Black and queer folks in this country. And I think, probably for the first time, I handled a lot of that outside of the music. Yeah.
Let's talk about like the importance. Like, I know you speak up a lot for the queer community, the LGBTQ community.
Happy
I know
Pride,
that you dropped
Happy
your
Pride.
album. Happy Pride.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that it's June.
Yeah.
Did you purposely drop your album June 9th because of Pride and the connectivity, or was it just came out in June?
No, I wanted a summer album.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I was like, I wanted this to define our summer. I think
Absolutely.
next summer is gonna be different. We're gonna be in an election. It's a lot going on, and not that there's not anything going on right now, as we know. But I felt like this was a good pocket to sort of create a soundtrack to the lifestyle for people who understand the importance of celebrating right now. I have a phrase that I like to say: it's time to hurry up and live.
I love that, man. The Age of Pleasure in stores everywhere. Get it right there for free on the iHeartRadio app, man. The lipstick lover, Janelle Monae, I appreciate you stopping by, man, chopping it up with your favorite Cuzzin Dre. Yeah. You'll be out here, man. Y'all get your tickets. You'll be at the Bill Graham October 17th. You'll be back in the Bay Area. We'll be in the building, man.
Wait.
Check y'all, do your thing. Appreciate you hollering at me. I know you got a busy schedule.
Yeah, no, I love this place. This is like
Absolutely.
one of the first places that embraced me, when I was coming up, and the most beautiful people always come out to the shows, so I cannot wait to see y'all. I love you, and happy Pride.
Hey, happy Pride, Janelle Monae, everybody. Thank you much.
Thank you.